Hello friends and welcome. Today I'm going to teach you a little trick you can use to win your trades more efficiently, though it's not just in trades, it is used in a lot of parts of the game if you're creative, and many high level players will do this, which is to cancel your backswing animations and do other things. If you're an experienced player, you probably know this. If you're a new player, none of this is intuitive at all, so let me walk you through it. First off, we have the attack animation. This is broken into two pieces. There's the attack point, and then there's the attack backswing. The attack point is what really matters here. So when you start your attack command, assuming you are facing your target and within attack range, you will begin the attack point. The attack doesn't actually launch until after the attack point. So this is based off of Bane, so he has a 0.3 second attack point and then a 0.7 backswing. So in between this attack command attack launch is when you can spam the stop command and make Bane go like whoa, 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 and like fake attack a lot. This is canceling your attack and kind of like spamming it out because the attack doesn't actually happen until you launch the attack. Everything else after that is useless backswing animation. You don't need to sit through that animation of Bane's arm like coming back, all of that. You don't need to sit there. What you do need to do is wait for the full duration of the backswing before you can start another attack. But you don't actually have to sit there. You can do other things, and that's kind of the whole point of this video. So what's required is the attack point to actually launch the attack. Then we have to wait for the full duration. So you can do something like this. You attack, and then let's say you do something else here. You move, whatever. Then you can start your next attack after the backswing animation duration has passed. What you can't do is something like this, where you attack, you cancel your animation, your backswing, so that's good, but you can't start another attack in that time because you haven't waited the full 0.7 second backswing animation. It's different for every hero, by the way. Bane's happens to be 0.3 and 0.7. People have different ones, but everyone has an attack point and backswing. So how can we use this for last hits? I said this was about harassing, but like I said, you can use it in a lot of different places. So this has definitely happened to you guys. You know, like you need to attack in this little time frame here, these 2 blocks, 0.2 seconds. But in the meantime, you're like, oh, I'm going to harass Sven a little bit, so I'm going to hit him. Then I'm going to hit him again. And then, wait, I can't get this last hit because I had to wait the full duration and I missed. And this may not be clear, especially if you're a new player, because you hit Sven, you finish the attack, and then you try to attack the creep, and your hero doesn't start doing anything, and you're like, why isn't he doing anything? It's because the full duration had not passed yet. So what you have to do is kind of mentally prep yourself and know, I'm going to have to hit that creep, so what's the latest I could poke Sven and have the full duration of the animation go through? That would be around here. Now, of course, none of us sit there and go like, yeah, 0.3 seconds here, 0.8 there, so right here's when I can attack. It's all by feeling, but here's what's happening mechanically and mathematically. This is what you need to... You don't need to know it, but you need to know the feeling of it. So you could also do the kind of the opposite, where you attack right away and then you just wait. So you don't like try to plan out, this is the last second I could attack Sven. I'm just going to attack, and then I have a feeling that I don't have enough time to attack Sven again and then get this last hit. So I'm just going to wait, make sure I get the last hit, and then launch it. So yeah, this is the feeling you want to have. You don't need to worry about the exact numbers, but this is what's happening. Next, let's talk about cast animations. Same deal. You got the cast point, cast backswing. Here's where you start casting a spell. So this is based off of Brain Sap for Bane. So this is when he starts a spell. The spell doesn't actually launch until here. So you can spam the stop command again and keep going like, whoa, 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 like that. And then after the spell actually goes, that's where he like pulls his arm back. All of that animation is useless. It's just backswing time. You don't have to sit there through it. Now, because spells have a really long cooldown, it's not like you can spam Brain Sap without cheat codes. So the backswing doesn't matter for that like it does for auto attacks. But what it does matter is when you're trying to chain multiple spells together. Now, if you use Shift Q, or if you are out of range and you try to press like QW on a target from far away, or whatever your spell buttons are, then it will kind of like queue up abilities. And when the game does that, it does not skip backswing. So Skywrath Mage is one of the worst offenders of this, may actually be the worst, but I didn't double check to verify. But these first numbers are his cast points. So that is what is required to go through. Then these are the backswings, not required to go through. You'll notice they're very different. So if you shift Q his 3 spells, it actually takes almost 3 seconds to go through everything. But you could just press the buttons really quick together. So you press, what is it called? Ancient Seal, I think. Then after the cast point ends, you immediately press Arcane Bolt, and you don't wait through the backswing. And then Concussive Shot has no cast point. It's actually instant. So as soon as Arcane Bolt is done, you cast Concussive Shot, and then boom. In 0.2 seconds, you've used all 3 spells, and you've saved yourself almost 3 seconds after that. This is one reason why people script on Skywrath Mage. I'm not condoning it. Don't do it, guys. It's cheating. It's wrong. But this is why. It's because they don't, like, if you are as good as a computer, you can cast all his spells in 0.2 seconds. Now, with practice, we can get very close to this anyways as a human and press it, and that's why you don't need to script, guys. But technically, a scripting machine would do it as fast as possible and not waste any time in between the backswings. So, again, don't do it, guys. But if you've ever wondered, like, why does this work? This is why it works. Again, don't do it. So let's combine these together, the attack and cast animations. In the majority of cases, attacking first, then using a spell, and then attacking again is the ideal order, because you attack, and in that time, you are letting the backswing duration time start to go. So we attack, and we've got 0.7 seconds of your Bane to do whatever you want, so why not cast Brain Sap if you are trading and need to, and then you can launch your second attack as soon as possible, as soon as that backswing animation time has fully passed. A common mistake people make is they use the spell first, and then they attack, but now they have to wait. They still have to wait the same 0.7 seconds, but they have to do it, and they have nothing to do in between because they don't have to cast Brain Sap, and now their second auto attack can't start till 0.3 seconds later. Now, in general, that may seem like not too much, but there are cases where you just die first, right? Where, let's say you're both at like 150 health. First person to cast one spell and attack twice gets a kill. The other guy dies. He loses gold. He doesn't get to do anything. The other guy, maybe he has a salve. He can heal up. Maybe he goes home, stacks a camp along the way. He gets the gold. He gets the experience. That is like a big difference. And the way you can guarantee that your damage comes out first is to do something like this, to make sure you are attacking, then using your spell, and then you can attack as soon as possible right after that. Another mistake people make is they try to do what I'm talking about, but they wait too long to cast their spell. So Bane's Brain Sap is actually quite a short cast point. It's 0.2 seconds. Other people have longer cast points on their spell. Again, I don't know them all. You guys won't either, but you should just have the feeling. And we can't skip the cast point. So if you start your spell too late, now he should have been able to start his attack, but he can't unless he cancels his spell. At which point he's attacking efficiently, but he didn't cast a spell, and now he has to cast a spell after the attack, and then same deal. The other guy's already cast his spell, and so now he kills you before your spell comes out because you had to go through the cast point. So making sure you use your spell early enough so that you get through the cast point, and then you can start your next attack as soon as possible is good to do. This is just general practice. It's honestly not that hard to do, but you just need to know the concept that is happening here with the backswing animations and all that. That's kind of it, guys, honestly. So my hair's all messed up, but you use your attack, then you use a spell, then you attack again. You don't even have to use a spell. You can do some other things like on this list. For example, you can move so you don't get kited. If you just issue an attack command and sit there, what your hero will do is he'll attack, he'll wait through the backswing, and as the enemy player runs away, when you can attack again, then I will realize I'm out of range, and then I'll move forward, but I'll never catch up if I'm slower, and so it's bad. What good players do is they attack, and then they use that backswing time to immediately move forward, and then attack again as soon as it's possible because they're still in range because they moved ahead of time. Turning also takes time. You can use a tango, use other items in between, whatever you need to do it in the backswing time so that you're not wasting like your attack animation periods and all that. Now, I will cover myself here. This is good generally, but there are times where you will use the spell first but it's for a different reason. It's like you're giving up animation efficiency because you need to use the spell first. So like Tusk, tag team, actually doesn't have a cast point or a backswing, so maybe it's not the best example, but he needs to use the spell first because it amplifies his attack. So he should use tag team and then attack. If he did this order, he would attack, use tag team, and then he'd be wasting tag team duration because he can't attack again until later. So he would start with tag team. Another situation would be if you need to use a spell to be able to effectively harass. Like, let's take Juggernaut. You're trying to fight Juggernaut. If you attack first and he decides this is a threat, I'm going to spin. Now you're not going to get to use your spell, and maybe he kills you because he's spinning. So in those cases, you might want to use, let's say you're like a lion. You might want to hex him first, then attack, then maybe stun, then attack again, and then you get out. Juggernaut has never had a chance to react because you started with the disable. Now, you don't have to do that still, because like against Juggernaut, maybe you could just attack first, and then he spins, and you're like, whoa, I was just poking you, so now I'm going to back off. And then that's fine for you. In fact, that's really good. But if you did want to kill him, you want to make sure you disable first. Like someone, you had a mid laner rotating in. You want to make sure he doesn't have time to spin, so you don't want to go through that like point. I don't know what Lion's attack animation is. Whatever the time to get through the attack point is before you could then hex, you don't want to do that and give him time to react and spin. You want to start with the hex and then attack. So those are some examples. I'm sure there are tons of others, but generally speaking, when you harass, attack, spell, attack is good, and then there will be some other cases where you don't do that. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Let me know. Goodbye.